Hello and welcome. I am Excellent and this is my podcast. And here's my Rob.
Oh yeah,
Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. So today we're just gonna be hanging out, talking, sharing, sharing stuff with our friends over on Excellent, and just being us, right?
That's it. That's what we're doing.
Before we get started, I'd like to say this. If you would like to submit something for the 31 days of Halloween, that happens to be starting in 2 weeks. Like the
Yeah.
first day is in 2 weeks. So I've already got my notebook out and written down a bunch, filled in a bunch of spots. And I'm going to start recording in 2 days. And because usually I start recording a few days early, and then I am sort of always feel like I'm behind the eight ball on it. So this time I'm really actually going to get started early. Rob, make me do that, please. And so if you guys want something submitted, if you want to tell us a story about something paranormal, because it's Halloween. It's the month of Halloween, okay? We want to go in some paranormal stuff. If you want to tell me something paranormal that happened to you, all you would do is do a voice recording on your phone and email it to me, which means email it to Rob, because emailing it to me doesn't work out that well for some reason. I don't know. But if you want to, let me know. We'll put up Rob's email address. I don't want to just put it up just to put it up, because all the girls are going to start sending him nudie pics. And you know how he hates that. And so if you want to do that, that's awesome. If you want to write a story, write it, send it to me, /Rob. Rob will send it to me, and I'll narrate it. We're having one of our subscribers for the third Halloween in a row send us a story, which is so awesome. That just really makes me so deeply happy. So if you want to do that, that's great. If you want to narrate your own story, then like same thing. Voice recording, send it forward. Now, here's what I would suggest doing if you're sending a voice recording, okay? Record for like a paragraph. Stop. Record for a paragraph. Stop. I don't care if you send me 15 different sections to get your story through. That's fine with me. I'll hook them up and edit that. That's totally fine. I'd rather that than getting frustrated because videos longer than a certain amount of time will not email. And then people would just, would rather give up. So the trick is to Rob doesn't do this, but in my personal opinion, the trick is to do it in paragraphs. Send it. Sometimes if I'm doing something, sometimes I have, depending on the length, like 20, 30 little clips. Because sometimes I do a sentence if I'm having a particularly, like that word particularly is hard for me to do. I do not know why. My tongue does not want to move that direction in my mouth. So sometimes if I'm having a particularly hard time with a word, And I've tried 15 times. I'll just like get through that word and stop, and then start again with whatever I'm doing next. So that's fine with me. That doesn't bother me at all if you want to send several small clips. So that what I used to do when I very first started is I would write a story and then read it from beginning to end. And if I made any small mistake in it, I'd have to stop and do the whole thing again. And sometimes I was reading a story 25 times. And that is really not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable. It's not. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of clips of me going, fuck. And shit. And all right. Gee, dang it. And calling myself an idiot. There's a lot of those clips out there. So, save the frustration. P.S. Yes, I still make mistakes in my recordings. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I have a lot of clips together and I'm just, this is how it is because I'm a human being. So I don't care if you do that too. If you have a mistake, what I do with Robb's is I just edit out his mistakes.
I don't make any.
He never makes any, but if he did, I would just edit them out. That was the path I was supposed to go down. Sorry about that, Robb. I took a wrong turn there. So please don't be afraid. I edit Robb's stuff. I edit my stuff. It's not a hassle. It's not a burden. And I would love it if the community would tell me what paranormal stuff has happened to you. You know, that, or you write a story or whatever, send it to me and let me read it because I just really like that. Right?
Yes, I agree 100%.
Okay, so, yeah, that's coming. So be expecting that. I'm also going to make a video that just says the exact same thing I said, but hopefully shorter. Because I talk a lot. And as a reminder to people who aren't listening to the podcast for whatever reason that would be, I don't even know. If you're not subscribed and you'd like to be, please go ahead and subscribe. I was going to say, please go ahead and put your thumb up. I don't even know what that was. I don't know. If you like this video and, you know, this content and this channel, go ahead and give things some thumbs up. It really, really helps my stuff to be seen and shared. And if you'd like to share stuff, please be my guest.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to hang out and talk about today, Robb? Wait, before we get started, is there anything that you would like to share in your life, Robb?
I'm just happily going through life blindly. I'm okay.
My biological father died this week. Now, you guys might remember that my dad died. That's two different things. Two different types of people. Because anybody can be a father, but not everybody can be a dad. So my biological father died this week, as Robb knows. And that was a learning experience for me. Because there's a whole lot of emotions that go along with something like that. Who's, you know, Robb's been my psychiatrist. Robb is always my psychiatrist. I think I've worked through this one pretty good, though, so far. Don't you think, Robb?
I think you've done really well, yeah.
It's just a very strange feeling because you don't have the loss of a dad, but you have the loss of, as we've talked about a whole bunch of times, the potential. The what could have been and what should have been and why weren't they. You know, you have those to work through, right?
Yeah, but whilst whatever kind of relationship you've got with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
good, bad, or indifferent,
Mm-hmm.
when they're alive, while they're still alive, there's always that potential for them to make amends.
Yeah.
And once they pass away, that has gone.
Yeah, that door closes.
Yeah, so you can't. So not only are you grieving the loss of somebody, you're grieving the loss of the opportunity for them to make amends and maybe explain why they acted in a certain way. That's my take on it.
Yeah. Like, ever say, sorry, my bad, would have been, you're never going to hear that. It's just a very awkward situation.
Mm.
So that was fun. My husband took a vacation and for a week, which made it really hard for me and Rob to talk every day, but we seem to manage to get pretty good, don't you think?
Did all right.
We did our best.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, for those of you who don't know, that I'm a night owl. I stay up all the night long. I do my sleeping in the day. I'm a vampire. And my husband immediately, last day of work, boom, changed his schedule so we would be on the same schedule. And so that happens to be the schedule I'm on that I talk to Rob at night because where the time difference is so big.
Mm.
Yeah. He just was interrupting our schedule, Rob.
I know. It's very cheeky.
I know, right? What do you mean you want to watch a movie? It's my talk time. I know. So, but that was nice and relaxing. We just did a staycation. It was nice, relaxing, mental vacation, and I liked it.
It's nice to have somebody there who's usually working all the time.
Yeah, all the time. So it was it was good.
JD does work very hard.
Yes, all the time. So it was time. It was time for me to be the center of attention. I'm sure he'd love that. I need you to take some time off work because I need to be the center of attention.
They left him alone as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, everybody was. So he. I don't want to get into what he does exactly, but he has a couple partners, and they told everybody, don't even try it. If you have a problem, don't call him. If there's an issue, don't call him. Don't call him. Call one of us. And then if it's a real honest to goodness, like we need to get hold of him, then we'll text him and figure it out. But nobody else call. And that is the first time, maybe ever. Because he gets one day off a week. But if we have to do anything ever, then he's there's a lot of phone calls during even when we're at the doctor, if the phone doesn't stop ringing. So yeah, it was crazy. So quiet.
Shh.
It was nice. So what have you been doing around your house? The girls came this weekend.
Yeah, the girls come this weekend. Just gone.
Yeah.
We had a nice time. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, the girls came this weekend. had some interesting stuff happen, which I'm
I'll say.
so tasty about, but I'm not going to talk about that because it's not fair on the person that did it. Yeah, they're doing okay. Grace may have broke her foot. Not this. She did it not over the weekend, but at a friend's. A friend. She went to a school friend after school, and I forgot to tell you this, Trace. The girl who she was with, she's a gymnast. She helps teach now at the gym where she used to go. She's one of the ones that she's that good. She's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to. Well, she can't be that good. She was trying to teach. She was trying to teach Grace. It was either a backflip or a front flip on a trampoline. So Grace tried to do this backflip or front flip, and I think she did it okay for the first time. And the second time she did it, she broke her ankle. Well, we're not sure whether she broke her ankle or not because she's been about a lot by the hospital, and it's just been a nightmare. And yeah, we're going to see this morning how it is. We're going to see if she can weight bear at all on it. Yeah, it's just been crazy. But,
tell them about the American. Tell them about the American diner that you guys have now.
Yeah, there's a few all over the UK, but ours is called the A38 because it's on the A38.
Right.
Yeah, it took a lot of thinking of that name.
Yeah.
But anyway, and yeah, we've been once before. We went again on Saturday. It's really nice actually. They do sort of.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They do sort of our version of American cuisine.
Yeah.
Like I had supposedly a Seattle burger.
Yeah, hold on. He had a Seattle burger. Okay, so if you're in the United States, obviously you know where Seattle is. He had a Seattle burger, and I was like, ooh, what would be on a Seattle burger? You're like, Rob, you don't know this probably, but Seattle's super famous for coffee. When the whole, cappuccino latte thing hit, whatever it was, hard, like 30 years ago, Seattle was like instrumental in this. And is it possible they had the first Starbucks there? Possibly. Don't.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Actually.
Yeah. So I grew up in Spokane, Washington, because Seattle's in Washington State. I grew up in Spokane, so I spent a lot of time in Seattle. It's always raining. But so when you said they had a Seattle burger, I was like, what on earth would that be? What would that? Because coffee wouldn't be that good, I wouldn't think. So, because he said to me before he went, I'm going to order something American this time, because last time he ordered what he usually orders, and it's English. And I was like, why didn't you order something American? So this time he did, and tell him about your Seattle burger, because you guys are going to be like, oh.
Right, on my Seattle burger, I had onion rings.
Which is, they do that here, yeah.
A burger, obviously. Onion rings, burger, bacon, egg, and black pudding.
That's it right there. That's the one. Now we do eggs on burgers here too. And do you guys have BLTs, bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwiches?
Yeah.
I have discovered BLT and E's lately. There's a coffee shop where I live, and they do that. They put an egg on it. Oh my god. I do enjoy it. Now, I'm like, okay, that's okay. People do onion rings, burger, obviously, bacon, perfect. We're in the right direction. An egg, okay. I don't think I'm a fan of egg on a hamburger. They do that in Australia for always. My daughter, one of my daughters likes eggs on her burgers, and I'm like, all right, this is it. This is good. Then he goes, blood pudding. No, black pudding.
Yeah.
Black pudding, which is made out of
It's made out of blood.
blood, people, blood.
Not just blood. It's made out of oats and other stuff. It's not just made out of blood.
Oh, well, at least it's not just blood. It's just blood. They
It's
put blood
gorgeous.
on your Wow, what? Yeah.
Hey?
Is it cow's blood?
I think so.
Oh.
Not sure. I've never really delved into it, to be honest. I just like the taste. And Grace likes the taste as well.
No, I'm sorry. I could tell you that there are a few things that I will never, as long as I ever live, eat. Ever. Haggis. No.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I don't eat anything that has to do with like I don't do chitlins. I'm not gonna have any kind of a pig intestine or innards or hearts or kidneys or gizzards. That is never going to pass through my lips. Black pudding you can definitely add that to the list.
You don't know what you're missing.
Oh, I think that might be good. So Keisha had a chili dog.
Yeah, which she liked.
Chili dogs are the bomb. Chili dogs are good.
And Grace.
Does she have cheese on it?
I don't think there was actually. Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, on top
Oh yeah.
there was.
Oh yeah, cheese is good. And Grace had a burger.
The mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese burger.
They look quite nice actually.
They do that here. They do the mac and cheese burgers here. So that you did pretty good. You guys did pretty good on the American thing. Really good, really good.
Oh, and we had a tower of onion rings.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the pictures. I love a good tower of onion ring.
They were nice. They were really nice.
Rob and I have this strange thing that, especially me, I have him take photos of what they eat, and send me menus. I love to read menus. I don't know why. Plus, if I stay at a hotel, I don't know if they have that there, but here they have a rack of like all the things you can do nearby.
Yeah.
I get as many as I possibly can. Even if I'm going to be there one night and there's no way I can do any of these, I just grab them. And I love to read them.
Yeah.
So, your queen has passed.
Yeah.
And you're in like what, day 3 or 4 of mourning now?
Yeah. We got Monday's a bank holiday.
Oh, it is. So yeah. Grace is happy.
Yeah. Which Grace told me actually.
When's she being married?
I don't know. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell everybody what happened.
Okay.
Last Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
I was. It was about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I was having a nap because I was going out to watch the football.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United were playing in the Europa League.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a phone call of Grace, and she's like, "Guess what's happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know, Grace. What's happened?" She went, "Oh, the Queen's died." And I went, "No, she's not."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, She has died. So after a little bit of investigation through Google, I found out that she had actually passed away.
Explain this because you don't really watch the news.
No, I don't watch the news because it's just depressing.
Where do you get your British news from? Me.
From you, yeah. I get it. Tracy tells me what's happening in my country.
It's true.
Yeah, Tracy tells me what's happening in my country.
I can't help it.
The only news I read is about Manchester United. I mean, that's basically my life. Other than my girls, that's my life. I just United, and
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I went to the pub, and the match was supposed to start at 8:00. And for anybody in the UK who's listening, it was going to be on BT Sport. It weren't on Sky; it was on BT Sport, which will make sense to people in the UK. So we're waiting for this match to start, and it went all funny, the telly, and it was all like they're not going to put the match on. So then everybody in the pub, we were debating. Well, I said, well, they can't not put the match on because everybody will be at the ground. They can't just say the match is not going to take place because there'll be a riot. Because we get our priorities right.
Is that true? I was going to say, is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you die like a little bit later, please?
So they ended up kicking off about 15 minutes later, about 8:15. They did a minute's silence.
Wow.
And but they postponed all the games on Saturday as a mark of respect for the Queen. But we're playing again. We're playing again on Thursday.
Well, that's what matters.
And in the Europa League, we're playing this weird team from the back of beyond. And then the games are all back on the weekend. So, we lack a bit of normality.
Yeah, I'll say, so something like that had happened here, you wouldn't have seen the game. It would still be 24/7, nonstop. News about every second. Then they would be doing this whole life review, and they'd be like talking about her as when she was a child, a teenager, and
well, they're doing that. I've seen advertised that all the major channels are doing stuff about the Queen. They are doing that. I've got to admit, even though I was in the military, I'm not big into the Queen or the royal family. I like Harry, I like Meghan. I actually sent you something about Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, I saw that just a few minutes ago.
But my youngest daughter, Keisha's 12.
Yeah.
She was quite upset, which I was surprised.
Yeah. It was sweet.
And when we went to church on Sunday, they were doing. I go to an early mass at sort of 8:30 on my own, and then at 11:00 we go to like a more family orientated Church of England service. And Keisha, when we were doing our prayers towards the royal family and the Queen, I just glanced up and Keisha was really praying. Which I thought was quite nice. Graceful.
Well, tell them what her main concern was about.
Oh, the dogs, the corgis.
Keisha was worried about the dogs.
He's going to look at them.
Is that not the sweetest thing? Did you tell her that they're going to Andrew?
Yeah, you got to be careful what you say here.
Yeah. Did you tell Keisha that they were going to go to a home?
Yeah, I told her to go to Prince Andrew.
Yeah, I called Rob and I was like, I need you to tell Keisha something. They're going to the pedo's home, but they're not his type. So they should be fine. I mean, an accused pedo.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. He's an alleged pedo. He's not a truck driver, so I can't say for sure if he has tendencies.
I listened to your latest video, by the way, yesterday.
Did you? Oh, did you?
Very strange.
Yeah. As soon as I said about how he went to a truck stop, I was like, well, there you go.
Mm.
See you later, alligator.
I thought that myself.
You know that when I travel, because okay, like I think I mentioned this last podcast. For 10 years, my husband traveled all over Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, the general South. And I would go, the kids and I would go, because my kids were homeschooled, so we could do this. Although, they were older, some of them were adults. But the point of the story is, I would travel all over to go see him, and that would be anywhere from a 4-hour drive to go to New Orleans when he was working there. Would be like, from where I lived was like, I don't even know, 11 hours. But I would never, ever, ever stop at a truck stop to use the bathroom, or to go in and get, let the kids use the bathroom and let's get a snack or something. I would never go to a truck stop. I would always go to a McDonald's, because McDonald's are everywhere. So I would always go to a McDonald's, because, I didn't feel safe being at truck stops. I'm sorry. If you're a truck driver, please just ignore me. But, I was telling you that I was watching that. I've been watching those documentaries. They're ID crime investigation things. You guys in the United States will know, in ID, investigation discovery channel thing. And they have like this, what I tell you was like the stranger who, something about somebody who lives with you. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm real good on giving out information, but it was like the stranger who lives with you or something like that. And they would tell the story of a person's wife, or a couple times it was a person's husband or a person's father, and what their life with them was like, and how usually 99% of the time they were really abused, and their father or husband, not the wives generally, no, not the wives, but the father or the husband, they would have a job where they could be gone a week or two at a time. And then they'd come back and they'd be in a lot better mood, and they would bring them like gifts, jewelry, um, like headphones, iPods, stuff like that. But they were never in a gift box. And like 75% of these dudes, they were truck drivers. That's why they got to leave for a week or two at a time. And every time I watched it, I was like, oh, yeah, truck driver. Crazy. And they always killed somebody who looked like their wife or their daughter.
Yeah, that is a bit scary.
Yeah, so at the end, I mean, at the beginning, they would tell us like who the person talking was, who they were talking about, but we wouldn't know. Some of them, They did do the son of Warren Jeffs, who's a huge, not the regular Mormon religion, but the FDLS, the fundamentalism stuff that where they were marrying like 12-year-old girls. And his son did one. No, Warren Jeff's brother, did one. And crazy, but it was really interesting because all these serial killers with, wives and parents and kids, and sometimes they would do one about the parents whose child became a serial killer. And it says at the beginning, but there were signs. Yeah, there were signs, all right. I'll say there were signs. Killing animals, choking your sister out. That's a sign.
Yeah.
Lighting fires. One of them was obsessed with fires, and that was the way he killed people, was lighting their houses on fire in the middle of the night while they were sleeping. If you guys just Google it, investigation ID, like a stranger, something you live with. It's really shocking. I don't know how I got from the Queen to that, but
I started watching a new series on Netflix last night. About life after death. Really good.
What's it called?
Life after death.
That's it? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, because I took a long time to think about that one. What's it about? I mean, like, do they interview people who come back, or?
Yeah, it starts off. I've only watched a little bit of it. It starts off with this lady who she is a spinal surgeon, and she tells what happened up to the lead up of how she died. She was canoeing, kayaking, or whatever you call it, and she ended up going under the.
Oh, I saw this.
She got trapped.
Yes, I saw this.
She died, and she was dead for quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, so it's really good. Looks really
good. Well, they got her out.
Yeah, they got her out. She was dead. They brought her back to life. But the experience. Now, everybody always says, even though obviously she should be panicking underwater, because she was drowning slowly.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't feel any panic at all. And everybody always says that the similar thing, that they don't panic. There's just an acceptance of what's going to happen. And yeah, that's always something that's similar in everybody's case.
I can't see not panicking underwater. I can't see it.
Yeah, I was the same, but I was thinking the same thing. But she was like, no, it was very peaceful. She said.
I thought drowning was really painful, but not only did she drown, the water was like super, super, super cold.
Yeah.
So she was getting hypothermic at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. I mean, if you have to choose hypothermia, just go to sleep. Maybe that helped her. I don't know. I don't know what would help me. Yeah, but she was dead for like 19 minutes or something.
Yeah, she was dead a while.
Yeah, but because she was in such cold, it because if people fall through ice and stuff, they can be revived longer than other people because they've been frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how many episodes I've seen of it, though. I might have just seen that one.
Definitely going to watch some more today.
those are really, it's really interesting to me when they do like doctors and people who of science who like especially who because of their science background don't believe in
She
any kind of
says
afterlife or anything.
she says that, if you can remember, she said I shouldn't believe in this
Yeah,
because I'm a surgeon, I'm a doctor. I shouldn't believe in this at all. But
yeah, that's what I mean. That's
she
why it's always interesting to see.
um, it's
Surprise.
what?
That's what she got. A
Oh,
surprise.
sorry, yeah, sorry. Um, and the thing that fascinates me as well about life after death, we talked about this a lot. We've done a few podcasts on it actually.
Hmm.
Um, Deaf and blind people have this when they have this experience. They report having the same feelings, the same kind of. There's a tunnel. There's all the
Mm.
rest of it, and that how can they? And people from all around the world will say that even sort of tribes in the middle of the Amazon, if they've had life after, if they've died and been brought back to life,
Mhm.
they will say a similar when they've not ever heard anybody else say it or anybody else give their own perception of what happened. They will have a similar one, and it just fascinates me. Absolutely does.
About the calm thing. Uh, you know, about 3 years ago, I had that surgery, major surgery, and I'm always afraid when I have surgeries. I'm always afraid that I'm going to die because of the anesthesia. That's always been a fear of mine. So I always get really nervous, and which I think a lot of people. I think in general, most people are pretty nervous before they have surgery. Um, but I was in the hospital, and the anesthesiologist came in, and he just spent like a really, really long time in there asking me questions and just kept saying to me, I need you to tell me if, you know, I need you to tell me like how bad is your asthma? I really need like minute specific details. And so we spent a whole long time in there. And as he was talking to me, I just thought, uh, this is scaring me because what if I'm forgetting something? You know, like
Yeah,
I just was like, what? Remember that time when you were 37 and you had those chest pains? Am I supposed to be telling this dude right now about that? You know what I mean? And and he said to me, my job is to keep you. He goes, you're scared. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm nervous. And he's like, well, I'd worry about you if you weren't. And he says, but my job is to make sure that nothing happens to you. So I'll be there the whole time. And then if something were to happen to you, um, I will be sitting with when I save you, because I will be sitting with you in recovery. And so I'll sit there until you're waking up and you're stable enough for me to not have to sit there with you. And I was like, okay. And and then it's time to be wheeled off. P.S. This guy was like 7 feet tall. It's like really, really, really tall. Like, whoa. But anyway, so they're taking me back, and somehow or another he gets there before me, and I don't walk in. They wheel me in, and as I'm being wheeled in, I think to myself, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, and I wasn't afraid. Um, wasn't afraid, and I didn't think. Uh, two of my kids were there. Two of my kids weren't there. One of them was in a different state for one thing. And another one, my surgery was in a different city than she lives in. But the point of the story is, I just knew that I was going to die, and I was okay with it. I wasn't scared. They transferred me to the operating table, and I just felt it. It's the overwhelming sense of, God, I don't think I'm going to wake up from this. And then I did have a near-death experience. I don't know why. I said this to Rob. I don't know why they call them a near-death experience, because you do die.
Yeah.
It's a near, almost not living experience. That's what it is. But so I did have an experience. And then when I was waking up, I don't know, I'm not going to go into all the details of what I experienced. And if you guys want to hear for the first time or hear it again, go ahead with a comment down below and I'll talk about it. But as I was waking up, I knew something had gone wrong because he was sitting next to me. Now I wasn't clear of head or anything. I was drugged the F up, but my head was kind of back, or it felt back to me, and I had like sinus drainage, and I said, "I'm drowning. I'm drowning. I'm drowning." And I heard him say, "Suction her, suction her." And then I was like gone again, out again. But when I started to come around and like a quarter of the way be able to focus, he patted me on my shoulder and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna leave you in good hands now." And I was just like, you know, totally not with it, but I did remember it later, and so I knew that something had gone wrong. Plus, I already knew it. I knew I had an experience, but that just was like, oh. And he was sitting with me, so it was. But yeah, I wasn't underwater. That would, yeah, anything. I wasn't underwater, so it's a lot easier to be calm. I think you're not drowning.
Yeah, no, that's your big fear, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Very, 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 very. Drowning, any type of suffocation, is what terrorizes me. And ironically, I'm not able to take something in the cocktail mixture they give you before surgery, which I found out 5 days later. They let me go home 5 days later, and they keep you drugged up the whole time you're there. And my nose, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe you guys have had surgery before. You can tell me if you're stuffed up when you get out. But I couldn't breathe through my nose, and I was sleeping, and I started to dream that I was drowning, and I woke up in this. I woke up in a panic that is like, the panic isn't the word for it. Thinking I was dreaming, and that's when I told you I was like, I wanted to run out onto my balcony. I needed the air. I need some air. Yeah, my big fear. What is your fear of dying?
I don't know if I've got an actual fear of dying. Like we've talked about this before. I don't have a fear of dying as such. It's just leaving the girls. That's my fear.
But you don't have a way that you think would be particularly horrible?
Burning.
Yeah, that would be bad.
If I was in a house fire and I was burnt alive, type of thing.
Well, the good news is, if you're in a house fire, you generally die from smoke inhalation before you get burned.
Yeah. I wouldn't like to. How these people come back from having sort of 90% burned, and
Don't bring me back.
yeah, I don't know. I won't.
Don't. Please don't. I mean, not that you have a last say, but if my husband calls you to get your advice, because he says that's your job, that's Rob's job. If he calls you to get your advice, say just don't do it. I don't. No, please don't.
Yeah, that's probably the only one.
Yeah, that's about it. You know, they say that giving birth is equal in pain only to being burned alive.
I've never heard that before.
Yes, go look it up. I reminded my husband of that every time I was pregnant. To this day, still. And you got to remind your kids every once in a while too, when they're getting out of line.
Yeah. But it's different. A lot of childbirth it's all relative, isn't it? It's like Sam when she gave birth to Grace and Keisha, we had home births, and she just it was really quick. She wasn't in a lot of pain. She just maybe it's because we were at home and we were more relaxed.
See, now I'm the opposite. It makes me more relaxed to be at the hospital. I did use birthing centers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all relative. No two people have the same labor. My girls were easy as far as pain goes. My boys, my bookends, my boys were hands down by far and away the hardest things I've ever done. It's strange too because I thought my last boy, well, I'd had two really good, I thought, labors, but that last boy was going to kick my butt. And those are the ones that went on for like 24, 26 hours too. The girls didn't. So, even delivering your own children is completely different each time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't really just say across the board. Some people don't have any problem, any pain. Here I was thinking, this is my fourth kid. It's probably going to walk itself out. It's not going to be a problem at all. My husband was like, I'll deliver this kid. I'll do it. I know how to do it by now. I'm like, yeah. He's practically going to just walk out of there, right? I mean, come on. Been there, done that. My body's used to this right now. Yeah. It didn't go that way, though. So rude. So rude. He's still got the same temperament, too. Like, I'm making an entrance and you're going to know it. How did we get there for your queen?
I don't know.
I heard that, speaking of the queen thing, I heard that Princess, now she's called Princess Consort Anne. Maybe I don't understand the definition of the word consort correctly, but maybe I don't know how. I don't understand it, but she's going to be one of Charles's advisors, King Charles III.
Well, Princess Anne is.
Yeah. So now she finally gets something.
I didn't even know she was still around.
Oh yeah, she was walking with him to go see the Andrew was there too, to go see the flowers and everything that'd be putting out, millions of flowers and cards. And and all that stuff. And then we talked about Harry isn't going to be allowed to wear his military uniform. Andrew's not going to be able to either, except for the last ceremony or something. And then they're going to let Andrew wear his uniform because his uniform was stripped of him because he's not a Royal Highness anymore because of the pedo accusations. And, he settled out of court and all this stuff. So he had everything stripped from him and his military, but he gets to wear his military uniform, but Harry doesn't. And Harry released a statement and said that his military service was more than a uniform.
Good for him.
Yeah. He went twice to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Which I knew he'd gone once, but I didn't know he'd gone twice. So I thought that was a good comment to make. You can take his uniform away, but you can't take his service away.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I like myself a good Prince Harry.
That was very sad what I sent you, though.
Is it? I'll have to watch it.
It's about him talking about his mum.
Oh, really? Oh, wait. Maybe I did watch it. Is it talking about that he wasn't going to have it repeated?
Yeah.
Oh, I did see it. I did watch it. Yeah, it was sad.
And how they made him walk behind the coffin when he was 11 or something.
Yeah.
When Diana died.
Yeah.
That's just cruel. That is
told him he couldn't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all about how it looked.
God, it makes me so annoyed.
What a terrible position to be in. Andrew's daughters, what, Beatrice and Eugenie, they were bawling their eyes out.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
If Charles had anything about him, he would have done something about that. He would have said, look, I don't want my children walking behind the coffin of their mother. Not at 11 and whatever age William was.
14? 13? 14?
13.
Wait, no, he had to be 13 probably, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a pussy.
He's Charles.
Yeah. Although I've seen him on TV the last couple of days being a total dick. Like, they had an ink pot in front of him, and he looked at somebody lesser than him and was like, take it away. And they didn't take it away far enough, and he was like, take it away.
I've not seen that.
And then he was signing something, and his pen leaked, and he stood up and stomped around like a 2-year-old.
Oh.
And then they released some list today about his 70 demands that he wants now that he's king. So, this might be fun. Might be good times there. Good times.
No, I'm not. Like Tracy said, I don't follow the news really.
I see again. See, this is what happens. I'll call him and go, Prince King Charles is going to be called King Charles III. And Rob and I talked about how he could change his name. I said, yeah, but they're saying he's going to be King Charles III. I'm the one who calls him with all this gossip and how they're treating Harry. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you hear what they did to Harry? He's like, no, do tell. And then we complain about it. And I'll be like, that's why I left. That's why my ancestors left. They were like, this is some bullshit. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. Well, Rob, we've been here for an hour.
What?
We have.
Wow.
Yeah. I did.
Really quick.
Yeah, when Rob and I get on the phone, sometimes it's like 3 hours later, and we've worked through some stuff. We feel lighter. We talk about kid things. Oh my God, my child.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I do that a lot. We all do that a lot. Everybody does. Parents need to give ourselves a break. It's a hard job.
Yeah. I mean, Grace will say to me, something will happen between. Hang on, Rob. Something will happen. Grace will tell me something, or something. She'll do something, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And Grace will say to me, "Why have you told Tracy?" And I'll say, "Because who do I talk to, Grace? Who do I talk to? Who do I get to talk to? You get me to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have anyone other than Tracy to talk to about certain stuff."
Yeah. And, people might think it's weird that I'm married and I talk to Rob, do 2 hours a night. But my husband really sees Rob as an ally. He knows it, that, yeah, obviously, I could talk to my husband about anything, and he's there. But he also knows that Rob and I work through our things, and he was joking a couple months ago, and I said something to him, and he goes, "You need to call Rob. This is Rob's job."
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for that.
This is Rob's job. I'm busy. Okay, I'll call Rob. And so it's like he's not at all like jealous or anything. He just thinks that we're lucky. Rob and I are lucky that we have each other to do that, which is nice, because I don't think a whole lot of guys would be, or women for that matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that, obviously, because I'm single. So
Yeah, and you have to say that way, or she might make you. Rob says if he ever starts dating someone, he's gonna tell her that he's gonna talk to me. You have to accept my children and Tracy.
yeah.
Yes, we all come with our baggage. Hello.
But that's never going to be on the cards, so I won't worry about it.
Oh, Rob, please.
Because, I mean, if there's any other single guys out there who have got children, especially young children, this was the first time in my life, and I'm 50. How old am I this year, Trace? Am I 54 or 55?
4.
54. I'm 54 this year. Until this last few years, it was the first time I'd ever been single in my life. I'd never been single. I'd gone from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship to another relationship. Some may be overlapping when they shouldn't have done. But
Some.
but yeah. And I used to panic. I was thinking about this the other day, and I meant to talk to you about it. I used to panic when I was in a relationship that I could end up being on my own one day. And it used to scare me. But it's the best thing that ever happened. Well, other than for the girl, not for the girls, it's not the best thing that could have happened, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to be in a relationship now for the simple reason that it wouldn't be fair on the woman, on the lady, because I want to give my girls 100%, and then that's not fair on another person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my logic.
Well, your girls are going to grow up.
Yeah, no, but maybe when they have grown, they're not grown yet, and they like it the way it is. And
Yeah.
I mean, like Thursday, United are playing on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to a pub.
Right.
I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to. I'm going to go to the pub. Is it okay? Or blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just can go to the pub,
Right.
and that is good.
Right. Right. Well, I think that. Well, like JD worked out of town for so many years that I was basically alone. He would come home once a month for sometimes we went like sometimes we'd have to go 2 or 3 month stretches, and then he could come home for like a week, 5 days, a work week, but he would come home for 3 or 4 days and then leave again. So I basically had the kids, to raise by myself, and everything that involves running a household. And plus, I coached volleyball, several teams in volleyball for the whole time he was gone. And so, it was sort of like being single. Although everybody's like, that sounds terrible. It wasn't great, but it also gave us. We would go travel, and I've gotten to see places I never would have seen before, and it was like a vacation. Like we would go see him, yeah, quite a bit, and so it was like getting to go on a little vacation because they would always get work. He'd always stay in a hotel or rent an apartment. So it was like being on vacation and getting to see things and places. And I've gone to Mardi Gras several times, and it was just it was really actually kind of like an adventure. But still, I was alone. I didn't have to ask anybody to do anything. I think that's probably when I started getting on my weird sleeping schedule, was because I didn't have anybody like I didn't have anybody as a partner in the house. But then I just stayed on my weird sleeping schedule. But like when he's up and around, I'm up and around, and so we're on the same schedule that way. But yeah, I don't think either one of us hated the kind of independence, but I also really like it like this now. So, but I don't have a husband I have to ask to do things either.
Yeah.
I've never had to, ask, can I go here? Can I do that? Can I buy this? Just don't ask him to heat your soup up.
You still haven't told me about
I know, I will. But yeah, I'm lucky that way.
Yeah.
And I get to I get to talk to Rob. I'm allowed to, and do all my YouTube and stuff. Nobody in my family listens to my YouTube.
Don't they?
I don't think so. Nobody ever tells me they do. Nobody ever brings it up. Although the kids are proud to tell their friends and stuff. They like that. They do like my mom has a YouTube channel. My mom does podcasts. They think that's fun to tell people. But in general, I'm not sure that they. I don't know. 3 of them are adults and they don't live here, so maybe they do. Actually, 4 of them are adults, but 3 of them don't live here.
Yeah.
Your neighbors and stuff do, right? Do
Yeah.
podcasts?
Yeah, sometimes they do, yeah.
Did you hear back from that woman on the board that was talking about the stone tape theory stuff? Because you mentioned during our last podcast.
No, I didn't actually. I haven't heard back from her. That's a good point, actually. Zoe, was it Zoe?
Yeah.
No, I'll have to have a look. See,
Yeah.
Maybe she did and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should. All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me and Rob today. And if you have anything you want to write below, any comments you want to leave, feel free to do so. YouTube doesn't let me know all the time, hardly ever, actually, when I get a comment left. So I have to go specifically to my channel and look in my analytics department thing and see comments, and then it'll bring up comments that I haven't responded to. So if you guys are like, why is it taking her forever to talk to me? Just be persistent. Go ahead and leave another one. Be like, hey, where are you? And maybe that one will come through. But so I went through the other day. I went through a whole bunch of comments and responded to everybody. So when I see them, I do respond to your comments. I don't follow anybody on YouTube who responds to my comments ever, and it feels a little rude, to be honest with you. You know, sometimes there's like it's a yes or no answer. And just can you leave a yes or no? So I try to get to everybody who comments.
Yeah.
Not you people who talk about how you don't like my voice. I don't respond to you.
If someone comments to me, you will tell me to comment back.
And if someone comments to Rob, I say, hey, go look on video, blah, 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 because you've got people talking to you. And then Rob goes and answers too. So we do really well about that. Just bear with me if it's not quickly, because I'm supposed to get notified. So bear with me. And especially now that I know that I'm not getting notified, like ever, I can go more often and go look at the comment section and see what I'm missing and tell Rob what he's missed too. So, because a lot of people get on and say, hi Rob, Tracy. I'm called Tracy. I'm called Miss Tracy. I'm called Exolite. I'm called EL. I love them all. Call me what you want, within reason.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks for coming. If you've enjoyed just hanging out with me and Rob, let us know that too. Because we always talk about how we wanted to do podcasts where we just, whatever subject comes up, we talk about it. Like we do on the phone, and hang out with the community. So if you like that kind of video, that kind of a podcast, let us know. Otherwise, we'll just do topics.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, Rob. 2 weeks. 2 weeks till the 31 days of Halloween.
I know.
Exciting. All right. Good night, you guys. Good night, Rob.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.